Well, a score of 10 isn't that impressive. The only reason we are talking about it is because you're level 1, Aaron said. For once, Quinn was happy Aaron's smugness had drawn the attention away from him. Is this okay, then? Layla asked. Yes, Aaron replied. I still wish to join your team. I believe even with the extra luggage we have on board, with me and Vorden, we can come out as the top team during this assessment. After testing everyone's strength, the group decided to discuss a few things, such as formation and what to do. Although the discussions didn't last for long, if they were to travel as a group, Layla would stay at the back for support, and Aaron and Vorden would be at the front. Usually the physical damage dealers would be at the front of the squad, while elemental users in the middle. But in this scenario, Quinn and Peter were considered so weak that they were placed in the center for protection. Aaron felt like it was quite useless to practice anything else after finding out how weak the other two abilities were, so the group's meeting had ended early, and she decided to go off on her own to train somewhere. Well, if combat classes have been cancelled for the day, is there anything you wanted to do? Vorden asked. Actually, I was planning to head to the VR capsules, Quinn replied. I've been trying out a bunch of abilities so I can decide what ability to pick in the future. Suddenly, Vorden started to shiver. You can go ahead, Vorden said. I know I showed you how to play the other day, but to be honest, I'm sick and tired of that game. I played it so much growing up and all. With Quinn heading off to the VR room, that left Peter and Vorden all on their own. Hey, so do you want to practice a bit more with your ability? I know you're saving up so you can buy a few more skill books. Maybe we can get you to a level 2 before heading off into the portal. Peter looked around the room at the other students before giving an answer. Sure, that sounds like a good idea, Peter replied. But Peter's strange actions didn't go unnoticed, and Vorden had a feeling it had something to do with those students he went to hang around with a few days ago. Quinn had finally arrived at the VR center. He paid his 10 credits for an hour and got into his pod as usual. At the moment, it was the easiest way for Quinn to level up and get stronger. He decided while inside the capsule he would split his session into 2 halves. For the first 30 minutes, he would spend it facing against level 1s. On average, it took him around 5 minutes to defeat an opponent in the level 1 stage. Gaining 25 experience points for each opponent he defeated would allow him to gain around 150 experience points. Then, for the second half of the session, he would use it searching for quick matches, battling against opponents of all different strengths. This would improve his fighting IQ out in the world. Quinn entered the game and started his first match with his plan. He did the usual avoiding the enemy's strikes and dealing with his opponent with either the strength of his 2 fists or by using a barrage of blood swipes. That's when Nate noticed that the ID Blood Evolver was online. Nate was still interested in this person and decided to check him out. As long as they were in your friends list, you were able to spectate their matches. Nate then was suddenly transported into the arena and began to watch Quinn's matches one by one, and all that he witnessed was Quinn defeating weak level 1s in a matter of minutes. But it was strange, for someone as strong as him, just what on earth was he doing? When Nate thought of him, he never imagined Quinn to be the type of person to bully the weak. Let the grinding begin, Quinn said as he took down his next opponent. 170 of 800 EXP. Nate continued to observe Quinn and his fighting style, and wondered just why he didn't fight the same as when he fought against him. Quinn repeatedly went into match after match and would only go up against level 1s. It was clear to Nate that he had purposely set the system up this way. Now some players would do this, if they perhaps were trying out something new, but from watching Quinn, all he could see was Quinn doing the same thing over and over. He would enter into a game, and then immediately dash in either using a barrage of the red line attacks of his, or a flurry of punches, not caring whether he got hurt or not. It was clear he was beating them with pure strength and trying to win the matches as quickly as possible. Unknown to Nate, though, Quinn was purposely doing this. He didn't have much time left between now and when he was to go out onto his portal training, so the only thing Quinn could do was grind a few levels to get stronger using the system. Finally, 30 minutes had passed, and Quinn himself was growing tired of repeating the same thing over and over again. The only thing that kept him going was seeing his experience go up little by little. That's when Quinn noticed that he had a spectator. Nate, who was sitting in the seats, gave a wave back. Oh, it's him. I wonder what he's doing here. Then a thought came to Quinn's mind. The fact that Nate was watching gave him the chance to ask him something. He then went on to the game system and sent out a party invite to Nate. At first, Nate was just planning to spectate and watch Quinn play a few games. He wanted to study Quinn a bit more before asking him to another duel, but when he saw the party invite, he was quite surprised. The game only allowed for one-on-one battles, so the party invite feature was only really used between teammates for practicing, or if they wanted to chat and were far away. In the end, Nate was too curious and wanted to know what Quinn wanted, and decided to accept. The arena ground disappeared, and now Nate and Quinn were in a single white room once again. "Hey, how are you doing? I hope you're not planning some type of revenge, are you?" Nate said as he proceeded cautiously towards Quinn. "No, actually, I wanted to ask you something. The person who I fought with before, your friend, I wanted to know more about his cape and where he had received it from." "Oh, Sam's cape. That's why you wanted to talk to me." Nate then looked at Quinn standing in front of him. In his hands he wore his gauntlets. That's when Nate suddenly realized something. The gauntlets that Quinn was using looked horrible. They must have been only at the basic tier. "Wait a minute, are you a first year?" Nate said. Yeah, I will be going on my first portal outing. I thought if you could tell me what type of beast you got it from, I would be able to look for it." Nate was suddenly a little surprised. He went back and thought about how Quinn was able to damage his solid body, even though no one had done such a feat before. He was sure the person would have been at least a second year. "Let me give you a piece of advice then. On your first outing, they always use the green portals. You have the chance of going to one of three places: Caladi, Almpin, and Bartney. Out of these three planets, you want to go to Caladi. There in the desert, there's a winged creature. I can't remember the name of the winged creature, but there aren't many in the desert, so I'm sure if you see one, that will be it. That beast core is what we made the cape out of." "Wait, did you say a desert?" Quinn asked. "Yeah, what's wrong with that?" Usually the word desert meant the place came with heat. The idea of having to journey through that, Quinn was starting to get tired just thinking about it. "Don't worry. Thank you so much for the information. You've been a big help. I'm going to play a few more games now before my time is up." "Oh, sure, go ahead. Do you mind if I watch?" Nate asked. Quinn thought about it for a while. If he didn't want to let Nate watch, all he had to do was block him or delete him from his friends list. But at the same time, Quinn felt like there was no problem. He was just fighting people. It wasn't like he was doing anything that suggested he was a vampire, and it was likely that Nate wasn't even from the same school as him. "Sure, go ahead." Quinn only had 20 minutes left inside the machine, and using his remaining time, Quinn chose to use the quick match function on the game, matching him with random power levels who chose the same option. This half of his session would be used to practice his fighting skills. In the remaining 20 minutes, Quinn was able to have 2 more games. His first match, he was against a level 4 user who had a transformation ability. His body was made of a rubber-like material, and he was able to stretch it as far as he liked. Quinn struggled against this opponent. The fighting style of the rubber man was strange, and when Quinn wasn't expecting it, he would be hit at an incredible speed. In the end, Quinn managed to get a few blood swipes in and hurt the man, but still ended up losing. The next match there was much more success, as he was matched up against a level 2 user who had a hardening skill similar to Nate, only weaker. He had an easier time dealing with this opponent, as his blood swipe dealt damage as well as his regular attacks. In the end, though, Quinn decided to take the match just as seriously as the others, and ended up finishing it with a hammer strike. 195 of 800. With that, Quinn's time in the game was up, and he had to leave. Nate, after watching Quinn for the whole time, had a strange thought lingering on his mind. Just what was Quinn's ability? After their battle, Nate had decided to check out the ability list to see if there was anything similar, and he could find no such thing. The other thing was, it seemed like all Quinn could do was shoot out red lines, which would suggest either the ability he had at the moment was incredibly weak, or he was currently at a low level. What Quinn didn't realize, though, was that all the opponents he had faced that day were thinking the same thing as Nate. They were wondering just what ability Quinn had. The hardening user Quinn had just fought was so frustrated with his loss, he decided to go onto the online forums and make a post. He shared a video of the match between himself and Quinn titled, "What ability is this? Is he a hacker?"
Subscribe to the Pocket FM Blockbuster YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notifications. Check out our channel for more exciting shows.